GSL Season 2.
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We've arrived with the final series of the broadcast, the final series here of the 2026 GSL Season 2 Round of 8 Group B. We just wrapped up with the elimination match, and now we have returned with the decider match. We're here to determine who will be joining Maru, Kira, and Hero in the offline event in the semifinals. Will it be Zoun or will it be Rogue? Will we have one Zerg representative, or is it going to be double Protoss and double Terran? Let's go. We're here to find out here. Again, Zoun versus Rogue is going to be a rematch from earlier in the broadcast. Zoun has already defeated Rogue earlier in their first series. Can he do it again? Can Rogue get his revenge? Let's go. Let's find out. As I'm sure vetoes are underway and we're getting ready for that final best of 3. Let's go. Let us go. Here we have our Protoss player. Here we have Zoun. Again, for onside, he's going to be stepping into the ring. Again, he's already taken down Rogue in this broadcast, but we'll see if he can do it again. Let's go, as we have that rematch available here. Once again, it's going to be up to Rogue to try to end the game early, to be hyper aggressive. It's going to be up to Zoun to keep up, to defend, and to make it into a longer game state. Oh boy. As again, Rogue, he had a big sigh of relief after bringing down Shin earlier. Can he bring down Zoun? Can he bring down a Protoss? But can he do it? As here we go, vetoes are done. Game 1 is going to be on the Old Republic. Game 2, White Rabbits. And Game 3, 10,000 feet. Whew, interesting. Okay, so Rogue, he does get rid of some of the larger maps. He gets rid of Title Citadel, Winter Madness, and Tourmaline. Interesting veto process. Who got rid of Celestial? Wait, Zoun? Zoun vetoed Celestial towards the end. Interesting. Zoun gets rid of Mothership, Ruby Rock, which makes sense. Gets rid of Celestial. That's an odd veto for me. It's an odd choice, an odd veto. We do get rid of the extreme mats in the end, both Celestial and Tourmaline, but let's go. Let us go. We're jumping into our fresh and final series, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing onside. It is Zoun. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the red Zerg. It is a Rogue. Let's go. Let us go. Let's jump on in. We have the final best of 3 before us, the final series of the broadcast of the group stage. Here we go. Now, coming into this, once again, as I was emphasizing previously on these maps like Old Republic, we do expect to see Zoun play a little bit more defensively here, but what is favored on the Old Republic? Aggression, specifically on 3 bases. The 3rd and 4th expansion location on this map are very open, very exposed, and we've seen many a Zerg player break at attempting defensive Protoss at that 4th location. It's very open, it's very exposed, it's very vulnerable, and typically Zerg players are able to gain map control to get their 3, 4, 5 base setup, and of course look to max out and break that center location. We'll see if Zoun can defend, or we'll see if Zoun is taking a different approach. I mean, he could always pull a hero and be the aggressor instead. True. We'll see if he's going to be the aggressor. Meanwhile, hatch pool gas opener. Interesting. A slightly later gas geyser here from Rogue. Interesting opener. As from here, we're joining, we're saturating, we're settling in. We're expecting a Stargate opener at a Zoun into 3rd base, into Twilight Council, into Forge, into Blink. If he does deviate, we will take note of that. So bearing in mind that Zoun, he was showcasing a unique build that was given to him by a Classic previously, where he goes into a delayed Forge, into a heavy Gateway count, into heavy Blink Stalker aggression. I do like the idea of that kind of build here on the Old Republic, but we'll see. Actually, I think that kind of build is better on smaller maps, so I'm thinking of Ruby Rock, Tourmaline, and 10,000 feet. Just because it's very safe. I don't know if we need to be that safe that early on here on the Old Republic. We'll see. We shall see. And for now, we're on patrol. Just keeping tabs on each other, making sure there's no shenanigans early on, like extra gas income. There's a Stargate open out of Zoun. Technically, Zoun can go Void Ray first. He can go Void Ray or Phoenix. It's a little bit rarer to see that. Last time we saw Hero, he was going for non-stop Void Ray openers. That is true, but that's Hero. Standard way to play is to go into the Oracle, and that's what we're expecting out of Zoun. The reason why, the rationale for going for so many Oracle openers is we attempted to lay the third base to buy time for the Adept, but it's not going to be enough. Yeah, there's a cancellation, there's the third. Ideally, Zoun wants to buy time for the Adept, then the Adept can show up and focus on the drone and delay the third, but fails to do so. Now, when it comes to Stargate Oracle play, the reason why it's so common is because the Oracle does everything. The Oracle can defend, can attack, can scout, can harass, can shut down Ling aggression, can secure your expansion as well. It's just a very, very well-rounded and solid way to open up, to give you momentum and to give you security. As a result, Ling aggression is quite rare in ZvP. There are situations where we can be aggressive, especially if Zoun were to, say, commit with Adepts and lose them across the map. But Zoun does cancel. Cancels the Shade, races back home, the Oracle has arrived, and Zoun is racing back to protect his third. He's racing back with the Adepts. They manage to Shade back home in time. Zoun can now expand. Oracle pokes in. It's going to be up to Rogue to minimize losses, and so far he's in position. He will lose maybe one. Not even. Yeah, so far, nice deflection. We have confirmation. Early Eva Chamber. Rogue is going in the +1 melee into what should be Ling Hydra. Now, I say should be Ling Hydra. We have seen Zerg players go Ling into Spire. It's rare to see that, but it's possible. Should be Ling Hydra here out of Rogue. Meanwhile, Overlord moves in. It's going to be an early Twilight Council out of Zoun. Early Council, and just what I see a later Forge. So later Forge. This can lead into Glaives or Blink. Blink is more standard, what is to be expected. Overlord does confirm the early Twilight Council. And I didn't see any additional gateways, which is kind of weird. Zoun is banking resources. Yeah, Zoun is banking. Where are the gates? It is going to be Blink. There we go. So delayed gateways here from Zoun. It's a little bit messy. The reason why they were delayed initially is because Zoun was focusing on his Oracle control and his Oracle micro. So those gates are a little bit late. And now getting up to 4 and 6 in total. So building up the 6 gateways into a late Forge. Now, I believe, if I recall correctly, this is the same build that Classic taught him, and we should be seeing a late Forge out of Zoun. Otherwise, this could lead into an 8k 3-base all-in. True. In my mind, this should be a late Forge, but eyes are on Zoun. As I mentioned previously, this build that Zoun is going for is ideal if he's up against an all-in, as it's just very safe. Robo's on the way. I don't see a Forge. Huh. Yeah, no Forge is going for the Robo. Zoun will have extra weapons available to be aggressive with Blink, so he should be pushing out soon. Yeah, I mean, there it is, late Forge, yeah. So as we assumed, a late Forge out of Zoun tells us that he's going to be going for upgrades and will eventually expand. Rogue, as we called at the beginning, is going Ling into Muta. It's rarer, but we did see this earlier in the broadcast. That's why we brought it up. We saw it earlier with mixed success. By that, I mean it didn't really work against Zoun. Now Zoun is pushing, and I'm concerned for Rogue. Zoun's being very assertive here, pushing through the center. There are little links to defend. Oh, he commits! No, he does commit. Adept gets surrounded. Nice catch here from Rogue. Oracles they need to support. Lings they can wait for the surround, and the Oracles are here. Pulsar beams are activated. Despite that, Stalkers, they are going down, getting 1, 2, 3 Stalkers. Heavy losses, and Zoun is going to lose almost everything. This push was not it. Yeah, the Oracles that weren't able to support correctly. That was probably just because of the Queens. Yeah, messy control out of Zoun. He'll lose far too much, and Rogue is snowballing out of control. Catching out all the Stalkers. Heavy losses for Zoun. What was that? 8 Stalkers falling? Insane damage. And now here come the Mutas. The Mutas are coming. It's not going to be mass Muta. We can see Rogue switching already into Hydras. So technically it was Ling Hydra, but we're getting there in a different way. And without Zoun, he's been knocked to the ground here. He's lost a little momentum. The whole point of his build was to mass up a mass amount of Stalkers, to be aggressive and to be active, but he failed to do so. And now Zoun has late upgrades. Now he has a later 4th base. Zoun has no map control. Zoun doesn't have much. Does not have much. We'll be able to defend against the mutas at least, but Lynx, they do hit the 4th. Oracle's in position. Okay, nice defense so far. Rogue is almost maxed. He wants the Oracles, and he will chase him down. Oh, yeah, he gets 1, he gets 2, he should get all 3. Oh, barely 1 Oracle survives, but in his target firing the other Rogue, he did not focus him down. So some messy control out of Rogue. But as he bleeds out mutas, he's massing up Hydras. Massing up more Hydralisks. Rotates back around. Hydras are building up, and what do we say at the start of this game? We spoke about how the 4th base on this map is very difficult to defend. Well, it's very common for Zerg players to mass up their armies, to cut workers early, and to commit. Now Rogue, he was able to drone up to 81, so he gets full 4 base saturation. And he's almost maxed. Zoun coming to Rogue. Rogue, I'm sure he's satisfied. As Rogue is about to push out anyway. And here comes all the Ling Pain. He's gonna commit. Yeah, does commit in. He breaks the expansion. Zoun does at least evacuate, so he does lose minimal probes. Did I speak too soon? Bailings, they smash into the Zells. They don't get into the mineral line. But we come in from behind. We got on top of the Colossus. Not the probes. Oh my god. Massive connections. 13 probes go down. And with that, Rogue Azana, he breaks the forward expansion, breaks the mineral line. And this is the power of the Old Republic. Again, it's so difficult to defend this map. GG gets called, and Rogue, he takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Rogue takes the lead in the series. Wanting it back here again, it was just a really rough start for Zoun. Zoun, remember, he went 6k blink into heavy blink aggression early on, and he just fell on his face. He moved out. He first got surrounded with his adepts. His oracles tried to support, but the queens zoned them away, so there was no oracle support either. Instead, Zoun got completely surrounded, lost all of his stalkers, and that was game. That was game then and there. Zoun tried to stabilize from there, tried to take his 4th base, but Rogue had so much momentum. He droned up to 81. He maxed out. He went into mutas. He didn't need to. If he wanted to, he could just go on Lingbane Hydra. Went into mutas, then into Lingbane Hydra, and broke the 4th base. GG. GG, well played. That leads us into White Rabbit. This is an interesting map in the map pool. So White Rabbit is a large map. True, it's a large map, but the bases are very spread out. They're very spread out here, and we'll see how Zoun expands. We'll see how he defends. There is a world where Zoun, it all comes down to map vision. It all comes down to map awareness. If you can keep up with the army rotations of your opponent, you should be able to defend. But if you get caught out of position, then I'm going to be favoring Rogue again here. I'll be favoring Rogue when it comes to punishing and shutting down some of the fringe expansions. We'll see. We shall see. As we are loading into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. Bottom left-hand corner here of White Rabbit, we have the blue Protoss player. It is Zoun for onside. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. It is Rogue. Here we go. We have our second game here in Rogue. He's 1 game away from advancing on into the top 4. Again, last season we had Shin as the Zerg representative. This season, do we have Rogue or do we have Zoun for the ace match? Now, personally, especially in White Rabbits, I don't want to see the same build. I'm referring to Zoun. I don't want to see 6K Blink. Like 6K Blink, as I mentioned previously, I feel like it is ideal on smaller maps. I feel like that's where it can really thrive, just because you're expecting aggression out of your opponents. On Old Republic, I mean, we could have seen it work, of course, but the execution was lacking. Like, I guess if we're going to go for 6K Blink, we got to lock in. We got to lock in. We have to preserve our units. We have to be careful. We have to be attentive with the oracles, with the adepts, with the push across the map. Otherwise, very quickly, otherwise, very easily, can all just go south. Let's go. Hydra on Zoun. So now we are going to be setting up. Going to be settling in. Yes, our initial hatch gas full. Standard open out of Rogue. Likewise, Zoun just going for his own gate expand. And gate expand into Cybercore. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. Just calming down. We likewise have our initial Stargate out of Zoun, so Stargate opener, standard, into the Oracle. What we're really looking for here is the timing of the Twilight Council. The timing of the Twilight Council and the timing of the Forge as well. Remember, last game was a very late Forge, intentionally so, in favor of Blink Aggression that fell on its face. This time, what do you have for us? This time, what do you got? Now we do open up. Going to be saturating. When it comes to the map itself, we did mention earlier that the space between the bases is a little bit larger. True. So longer rotations, defensive rotations specifically, depending on how we expand. We have been seeing players favor going for the center expansion because of that, as it is a little bit closer, but it's still very open, still very exposed. It is not an easy map to turtle on. Not easy. The Oracle does poke in, gets completely shut down. Thankfully survives, but is zoned away. And there we go, early Twilight Council once again out of Zoun. So far, this Twilight Council timing is the same as last game. Meanwhile, early Evo Chamber, just like last game, into +1 melee. So just like last game, I'll emphasize that this should be for +1 melee into Ling Hydra, but as a caveat, it could also be Ling Muta into Hydra as well, which we saw last game. As Lings, they poke in, they bust into the main base, the wall was wide open, Zoun is late to react, ooh. Yeah, late to react, late to respond, mining is being denied, a rough start for Zoun, Oracle has to race back home. And this isn't killing any probes, but it is still dealing damage. Behind this, we also get a full scout of the main base, confirming the Twilight Council. Where's the Forge? No Forge. It looks like 6K Blink. It looks like 6K Blink Stalker once again. We're waiting for the gateways. Show us the explosion. Depths, they get caught out. Thankfully, Recall will save them all. And you can see Zoun banking resources. Where's the gateways? We're expecting 4. We have 1, we have 2. And we're expecting 2 more. Yep, there's a 3rd. Oracle goes down, a shaky start for Zoun here, losing an Oracle. Yeah, as you can see, the production tab, 4 gates are on the way. That's 6 gates in total. This is the same build. It's the same build 2 games in a row. It's 6K Blink into Blink Stalker Aggression into a later Forge. Now, technically, this can still lead into a 3-base all-in if we go up to 8 gateways. Oh. Better engage out of Zoun. True. Better engage. This time we can see that Rogue is not going for the Spire. We have a Roach Horn on the way. Actually, technically, this can still go into Mutatech. There's a Delayed Forge. Confirms that Zoun is not all in. He's taking his gases, confirming that we're taking him into the Robo. Most likely Robo, but could go into Storm, I suppose. As the Oracle does get a scout off. Spire, yep, there it is. Spire once again. This game is so similar to game 1. It's so similar. The builds themselves, I mean. Oh, but actually Zoun, he's staying home, he's not pushing, and he's going for a fast fleet beacon. Interesting. So unlike last game where we had extra Stalker Warpins and a push across the map, Zoun is staying home. Now, what I will say here is that I still do favor Rogue in this position. Basically, this means that Zoun, he delayed his tech, he delayed his forge, he delayed his +1, he delayed everything in favor of 6 gateways, and he doesn't do anything with it, right? He's not being assertive, he's not being aggressive, he's not being able to defend against anything. So technically, all this tech that we're seeing in the production tab right now could have been thrown down earlier. And it mostly gets countered. Meanwhile, Rogue, he is taking up himself, droning up to 80. So Rogue, he's soon to finish droning. Soon to finish saturating. I'm curious to see if he does make any mutas. He has a Spire, he has +1 flyer attack on the way, but no muta production yet. Which I do appreciate. Just because Rogue, he does recognize, hold up, you're not being aggressive, right? You're not being aggressive. You're being more turtle heavy and more defensive. So why risk going mutas? Hydrogen is done. Fast mothership out of Zoun. Interesting. A very fast mothership. And we'll see if Zoun can break out. Meanwhile, Rogue massing up 20 Hydras. It's a lot of Hydras. Looks like he is committing into Lingbane Hydra. Meanwhile, Zoun is going into Storm. 4th base is now being taken, and this is the big moment here. Can Zoun defend the 4th? Storm is not done. That's gonna be cancelled. Oof. So as we just said it, can he defend the 4th base? The answer is no. Not yet. So 4th base is cancelled. That will delay, and Rogue, he's done droning. You can see here he's up to 85 workers. You can see Rogue, he's massing up 50 Zerglings. He's going for a massive push. And remember, what is Rogue's win condition? Break the 4th. Break the 4th expansion. Lings, they come in for a backstab. That is not in hold position. That's scary. Hold position your adept, papi, por favor. Hopefully is on hold position now. Hopefully. Second Stargate's on the way, getting ready for Sky Toss. Rogue is now maxed. And here comes Rogue. Oh, his bathings get spotted. Nice scout by Zoun. Now he can mentally prepare to send out some High Templar to Storm or to get ready for any kind of flank. Rogue is giving his opponent some time here, but he's waiting for Hydra speed. He's waiting for the upgrade. And with all these High Templar, with all these Storms, I don't know if Rogue can break Zoun anymore. It's going to be close. Nice catch on the Zealots. Banelings are rolling in, but remember, Zoun is prepared. Zoun, he's distracted. Oh no! Yeah, Zoun's distracted. We're rolling in. Here come the Storms. Massive Storms. Oh my god, insane Storms on the Lings. Their Lingbane gets shut down. And Zoun is holding. Zoun is holding on again. Very impressive Storms. Rogue, he took them to the face. Late Lurker Den. Oof. He's going for the Lurker Den. Tempests are amassing. Now, thankfully for Rogue, he already had the Spire, and he already has Spire tech upgrades. That will help when it comes to the Corruptors. And Zoun has successfully defended the 4th base, and Zoun is now forcing the late game. So this is where momentum is shifting, right? Initially, it was all about, can Zoun defend the 4th base? And the answer is yes. Right, Zoun, he successfully defends the 4th base. He can now max out on Sky Toss, and now Rogue is on a timer. Rogue, he's on a timer. You can see he's trying to find a better angle of attack. Baits out the stasis traps. Can he surround the High Templar? No Storm. Yeah, massive catch. That's 3 Templar. Banelings, they roll into the middle line. They try. Nice defense. Zoun, he defends well. Only losing 2 probes. Tempest are amassing. Tempest were just revealed. And after the next big fight, we should be seeing Corruptors. Should soon be seeing Corruptors. Hydras, they try to get under the Oracle. Banelings, they roll in. They take down site defense. Oh, one of the Tempest. Ah, Cloak. And Cloak is activated. Tempest does get away. Banelings, they don't get much done here. 4 probes. And we did see the Lurker Den earlier, but it looks like we're going into Ultras. This is better for diving. This is better for diving into High Templar. Ultras that build the tank, and the goal here is for the Ultras to tank the Storms and to get on top of the Templar. To bring them down. And this is where Zoun needs a higher immortal count. So far, Zoun only has 2 immortals. Oh, the Templar! Yeah, Templar get caught. Nice thing run by. Very nice. Catching out some Templar. Cannon's being focused on as well. Zoun out of position. Again, that's 7 Ultralisks. That's a lot of Ultras. And again, it's just a very low immortal count. I don't see this being an answer to the Ultras. Ultras, they will break through. Neural's on the way as well. That will help against Tempest or Immortals even. Against almost anything. We have now 10 Ultralisks. And they're about to be revealed. As Rogue, he's showing his hand. He's going for a split push. This I'm not too fond of. Just because he's now telling Zoun what to do. He's like, okay, now make Immortals. Okay. As he's only harassing, does pick up an Archon. Rogue, he just revealed his hand. Up until this point, Zoun hadn't seen the Ultra count. And now he's aware. Now he's fully aware. A Tempest. The goal here should be we're going to be seeing one big fight, and then the rematch should involve Corruptors, assuming that the ground army goes down. And we're going for it. Yeah, he's going to have to tank the Storms. Oh, doesn't commit. Yeah, Rogue, he does not commit. Going for another rotation. Zoun just has to keep up with these rotations. Just keep up. Zoun is building up his bank. Rogue, he rotates to the left-hand side. He gets spotted by the Observer. Zoun knows. Zoun keeps up. So Rogue has to pull back around. That Ling may have tipped Zoun off. He knows. Zoun rotating back over. Second Spire is on the way. Greater Spire as well. Rogue is still looking for an opening. I would say that Zoun is out of position. He's currently in the center. And Rogue, does he hit the left-hand base? He's going for it. Yeah, he's going for the dive. And does he break down the Nexus? It's going to be close. Yeah, it's going to be close here. The army's responding. Ultra's getting distracted. And it looks like the Planetary will survive. Sorry, the Nexus will survive. As he bleeds out 1, 2, 3 Ultras. 3 Ultralisks go down. That was an expensive run by for Zoun. Sorry, Zoun. Expensive run by for Rogue. Now we're switching into Broodlords. Okay. Sorry, we're switching into Corruptors and eventually Broodlord tech. Not yet. I do appreciate that Rogue is getting out of this, because at this point these Ultras have not paid for themselves and they're not going to. Like the time for Ultras have come and gone. Nice dive on the Tempest. Does attempt to That's a lot of storms. Ultras A committee gets one Tempest, only one Tempest. Oh god, once again a very expensive trade for Rogue. And Rogue, he's burning through his bank. He's burning through his bank. Yeah, Zoun he's ahead. Zoun takes a massive lead. Zoun has a better army and Zoun has a massive bank, and after losing that fight, Zoun can now counterattack. And Rogue, he can't stop this. Rogue, he cannot stop this army. You could definitely argue that we could be using more Immortals, for sure. A higher Immortal count would be better here. There's certainly 3 Immortals. But the Tempest army is looking insane. I feel like that was an opportunity for Zoun to push through the center and at least take down the center base before backing off. But Zoun is playing very scared. He just doesn't want to overextend. God, there's so many Archons. I'll be honest, without Brutal and Infestor, I don't see Rogue dealing with this army anymore. Like Ultra Infestor just does not, it's not ideal, not in this kind of game state. Earlier on, sure, but like now this is a death blow of an army. I still would say that we could do with more Immortals, but outside of that, like it's still looking terrifying. Something that can swing things in Rogue's favor are how he uses the Neurals, for sure. This is the one thing to bear in mind. He does have 8 Infestors, so I don't want to underestimate the power of the Neural. My Neural does have potential, but that could just be copium. Yeah, here we go. Does feedback. Lands 1, 2, 3, 4 feedbacks. Micro Shot is helping the Ultras breaking through the Archons, and we mentioned no Immortals. Yeah, not enough Immortals here. The Ultras, they will break through. They break through the Archons, but the Tempest, they pop up. And the Tempest, they will kill everything. There's still a couple of Archons remaining. You can see he's down remax with more Immortals, thankfully. Like, that was the one thing missing here is the Immortal count. He's making 2 Immortals at a time, breaks the expansion. Rogue burns through his bank. And Zoun backs off. A very mature decision. He just backs off. He just wins the fight, takes center base, backs off. Backs off, rebuilds. Going for more Zealot run-bys. He does focus fire the expansion, so he will get the hatchery. It's going to be close, actually. It's going to be close. And the hatchery survives. It lives, Bathy. I spoke too soon. Zoun gets it. Decent storms. Yeah, nice storm. Slow zone on the Ultras. Ultras, they try to bounce. The Immortals are amassing. He pulls back to his side defense. Can he hold on? Can he hold that? Yeah, warping him whatever he can. The Immortals, they make a stand. 14 drone kills, 16 drones. It's all around by, sorry, the DT counterattack even. 17 drone kills. Critical damage. Remember, Rogue had no bank. He had no bank, and now he has no economy. Rogue, he's broke. He has no money. And again, it felt like Rogue was lost when it came to the late game army composition. Like, I'm shocked that he stayed on as many Ultras as he did without trying to switch into a higher, like, Infestor, Broodlord, Corruptor army. Like, in my mind, we need like Broodlord, Infestor, Corruptor, Viper, Lurker. To be fair, there's a reason why Zerg players avoid this kind of game state, because you do have to construct a very complex army. But Zoun is fine. Okay. The one caveat to that is that Zoun, he doesn't really have much of a gas bank. But look at the immortal counts. He's got his immortals. Again, as we mentioned before, like that was the one thing that was missing for Zoun, was he only had 3 immortals. Now he's up to 7, so a much healthier immortal count. So now he should have a much more robust army against the ultras. This is the kind of army that we should have seen earlier, but we got there in the end. We got there. I should also mention that Rogue does have a supermax army. So what does that mean? That means that Rogue, he's on a very low drone count and he's maxed. So his army supply is actually bigger than it usually is. It also means that Rogue is kind of all in. It means that Rogue has 1 fight in him. Just 1 big fight. He does not have a bank to sustain anything more than that. Oh, hey, he does catch all these stalkers. Kongo locks him down. Couple of free stalker kills. Rogue will take it. Okay. Now, when it comes to this current army that we've built up, now Rogue does have some blinding clouds available to him, so that will help. The army that Zoun has is prone to clumping, so we can try to fungal and blinding cloud and lock down the ground army, and then maybe the ultras can take a better fight against the immortals if they're blinding clouded. And that's gonna be the hope. Like that's the dream here for Rogue. If he can fungal and blinding cloud. Otherwise, I don't really see the ultras breaking through. Oh, Zoun is taking one of Rogue's bases. This is dangerous. Zoun now he does have a bit of an outpost here, an outpost, a staging ground to push in. A launch pad, if you will, true. To be aggressive. Nice thing run by. He does bob, he does weave. Does find all these cannons going for the Archosis pylon. Uh-oh. Oh, nice catch. Very nice snipe. 3 feedbacks. Lings are being annoying. Because Zoun is max, he cannot defensively warp in. So no defensive warp ins. So a very messy defense. There we go, warps in 2 DTs. Broodlords are more... Okay, so it took a while, but Rogue, he's now perfecting his army. I mentioned earlier that, like, I was expecting Broodlord, Infestor, Viper, Corruptor, or Lurker, and we're almost there. There are no Lurkers, of course. Instead of Lurker, it's Ultra, but... Again, it takes a lot to control this army. Meanwhile, this base will go down. And Zoun now has a direct path to the natural. And to the main. So very nice pickoff. But I didn't think we'd get here. Obviously, Zoun still has the advantage just because Zoun has the greater economy. And the larger bank. As you can see, he's down throwing away probes to free up supply. Moves them away. Things, they're getting value. Zoun is pushing. Just clearing up creep. Again, Zoun has no rush. I should also emphasize that there's no rush for Zoun. There's nothing pressuring him. Zoun has more bases. Zoun has a greater economy. There's no pressure on Zoun. So the correct thing to do is just to play it safe. Like if you're wanting Zoun to like be more aggressive, like that would there's no need to. Like the correct thing to do is just play it safe. Just rotate back and forth, deny creep, pick up some key units here and there. Make sure you have the best angle possible. Gets a free Broodlord. Gets 2 free Broodlords. Never commit. Yeah, now he dives. Does end one of the fungals. Blinding Cloud is not available. Mass Storms. Oh my god, the Ultras are getting choked up. Yeah, they're getting choked up. Storm of the Corruptors. Ultras, they do break through. We had some Immortals that weren't a part of the fight. Yeah, nice Microbo Shroud. The Ultras looks like they will overwhelm. Just barely, they clean everything up. He cleans up. Shouts to the Microbo Shrouds. And Zoun plummets in supply. He will lose everything here. Oh, we have the Stalker Remax. Interesting. But there's still too many Ultras. Again, it was just a really awkward fight for Zoun. If you saw Zoun, he had, I want to say, was it 4 Immortals that just weren't fighting? He had like 4 Immortals that were on the left-hand side that just were not engaging. It's just a really awkward engage there from Zoun. Where Immortals just were not a factor. And also Microbo Shroud. It worked well. Microbo Shroud, it sustained the Ultras. Oh, but this is scary. So Rogue, he won that fight. If he doesn't counterattack soon, Zoun is just going to rebuild. Like, remember, Zoun has a better economy. He's got the better economy. Snipes 1, snipes 2 more Broodlords. Like, Rogue, we got to go soon. And he's stuck defending. He's stuck defending here. This is all just causing a massive distraction. It's allowing Zoun to rebuild his army. And GG. Yep, GG gets called. That's all that Rogue had. And Zoun, he will tie the series. We're going to the ace match. Ooh, GG. GG, well played. As we mentioned, Rogue just had nothing else behind it. We were trying to emphasize that he was quote-unquote all in. Just had one fight. One fight is all that Rogue had, as he was down in bases, down in economy, down in workers, and he could not actually sustain any further game from there. GG. GG, well played. We're getting into the ace match. We're going to be loading into 10,000 feet. Let's go. Let us go. We're getting into 10,000 feet here. We're loading into the ace match, and this can go either way. This is going to be a smaller map of the map pool, and once again, we should be seeing Rogue avoid the late game. From what we saw, from what I can see, like, it feels like Rogue is very uncomfortable in the late game. His compositions were lacking, and he was sticking with certain compositions for too long. When it comes to like the Mass Ultra, for example, was stuck with that too long. Took him a long time to switch into Broodlords. Took him a long time to actually build up an economy as well. Rogue was very much so a little bit more aggressive, but stuck in a longer game, and everything just kind of fell apart. But here we go. We're getting into our ace match here. And I'm sure Rogue is trying to think to himself, like, what build to go for, how to approach this. So far, it's been the same thing 2 games in a row. Zoun went 6k Blink, and Rogue went plus on melee into Ling Muta. I'm hoping that we see something different here, but we'll see. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the blue Protoss. For onside, it is Zoun. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his red Zerg player. The red Zerg player himself, it is Rogue. Let's go. Let us go. We're getting into the ace match. We're getting into the final game of the series. Oh, and Zoun, he moves out to Pylon Block. He wants to try to force the unnatural natural out of Rogue. Cheeky moves here by Zoun. Oh. Ooh, is he able to delay? He is. So there we go. Zoun, he will be able to force the unnatural natural. And welcome to 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet is a smaller map, less bases, less expansions, shorter rush distance by ground, but a very secure 4-base setup here. So defending on 4 bases is easier on 10,000 feet. If you remember, the last time these two played on this map, Rogue went for a proxy hatchery. Not this time. Remember last time, Rogue went for a proxy hatchery into an attempted Ling Flood and Ling Rush and Ling All-In. Then we forced a longer game. Zoun had a very shaky mid-game, and Rogue was able to overwhelm eventually and pull Zoun apart. But a big reason for that is because Zoun went for the triangular third. This time he should not, right? This time he should be able to take the forward 3rd base and then the linear 4th, and then have a very safe 4-base setup. That should be the setup here from Zoun. Last time he fled on this map, he was forced to take the triangular third, and he was spread out. He was spread out, he was pulled apart. But let's go. Here we go. We have Rogue going into link speed, it pulls out of gas. Just a standard opener. Nothing crazy, like where Stargate or Zoun. Now, twice now this game, this series, we've seen Zoun go 6-gate blink. 6-gate blink into a third base, late forge, late +1. Last game, of course, as Zoun, he decided to not warp in Stalkers and be very tech heavy and rush into the mid game, if you recall, and try to get there and try to stabilize. And he was able to in the end. We'll see if he does something similar here. I do think that there is reason, though, to go 6-gate blink this time, just because there's a very high chance that Rogue goes for an all-in this game. And it's just a very safe way to play. Now, because Rogue knows that Zoun has been going 6-gate blink every game, then that's when mind games come into play, and maybe Rogue doesn't go for the all-in, and maybe Zoun cuts corners instead. The mind games. Zoun does break out. The Oracle does move out. So that's back at home. From here, Zoun should be expanding. You can see that Rogue is in a position to delay. Nice delay, Rogue. You want to see that? Can he get it? He can. Gets one, gets the other as well. Very nice. Suit-ups go down. Massive pickup. Going for the probe. Oh, never mind. A little bit greedy. Yeah, a little bit greedy there from Rogue, but I believe he should still get the probe kill. And he does not. Still two adepts. Two adepts, delays the third base. Nice pickups. Meanwhile, early Twilight Council out of Zoun. It looks like the same build. It looks like 6-gate blink. Meanwhile, Rogue, once again, early Eva Chamber in a +1 melee. Should be into Ling Hydra, but so far, this series has been very samey. Every game so far, it's been 6-gate blink out of Zoun. Every game so far, it's been +1 melee into Lings, into Ling Muta. Or into Spire. Last game, Rogue made the Spire, but he did not actually make any mutas. True. So we'll see what Rogue goes for. He does scout the gateways. He does confirm that there's no forge. And the same build. There's the gateway explosion. Oh, hold on. Wait, what? That's an extra gateway. This is not 6-gate blink. This is getting up to 7 gateways, and it looks like Zoun, he may just go for an 8-gate 3-base all-in. As that is 7 gates, we're expecting one more gateway. Now, the extra gateway that we see is either going to be back at home or proxy. But this is much more aggressive. This is much more committed. Thankfully, Rogue is getting a safety Roach Horn. I was going to say that if he skips his Roach Horn, he's going to be in trouble. But he's going for the Roach Horn. We're waiting for one extra gateway. Here come the Warpins. And does he send a probe across? No, he does. There's a probe. Yeah, there's a probe for the proxy. Oh no, he gets caught. Massive pickup. The proxy is delayed. That was supposed to be for a proxy pylon. As Zoun is all in. He's pushing. Again, Zoun is here to end the game. He's trying to. Stasis trap does go. Oh my god, a massive stasis. They're catching out the Lings, catching out the Queens. We have more Lings coming for the surround. The Oracles, they do activate, but alas, the Lings, they do surround. They do collapse on the Stalkers. We have reinforcements coming in. It's close, and again, reinforcements are late. Late warpins, late reinforcements, but the Lings, they go down, and Zoun is breaking through. Can he do it? Can he do it? The stasis trap, it runs out. Roaches are amassing. And again, this is hitting later than it should because of lack of proxy. There it is. You can see the 8th gateway in the center. It is an AK3 base all in. But remember, this is late. Late warpins, late gateway. Despite that, Ravage is being focused down. Gets one. Rogue scrambling for a defense. Stalkers are blinking back. Stasis trap does not go off. And the longer this goes on, the better it is for Rogue. That hatchery's under fire. Rogue going for the counterattack. The wall's open. The wall's open. Hits the third. Does hit the third base. Gets into the middle line. Probe's going to be going down. And Zoun now has no longevity in this game. Oracle's forced to turn around. That's going to be 10 probes falling. Did I say 10? Getting up to 12. So Zoun, he has no economy. He has no reinforcements. He has limited warp-ins. And it looks like Rogue he's doing it. Yeah, Rogue, he's doing it. He's pulling it off. He's surviving. He's counterattacking. Zoun is forced to engage, pushing into a concave. Again, Zoun just does not have enough. Oof. Yeah, losing too many Stalkers. He's losing too much. Zoun being overwhelmed. Oh, nice stasis though. Okay. Nice stasis trap. Zoun, he can still pull this off. He needs those Ravagers though. He needs them. Gets one. Gets one Ravager. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Zoun is trying to rebuild his mineral line. Baliness? Okay. Interesting. Oh, Oracle, they do find a mineral line. Not bad. Does a nice mining. Very nice catch here with the Oracles. Lings, they get caught counterattacking. But the proxy gateway goes down. Yeah, Zoun down to 7 gates. Zoun even supply blocked. Oof. Yeah, big supply block here. Zoun, he's in trouble. Remember, this had to win the game. This had to kill. Things like catch reinforcements, nice catch. At the same time, the slow drop into the main. Let's go. Going for the slow drop. We have a Spire on the way because why not? Just to make a handful of mutas to harass. Drop is spotted. But still, I mean, not a bad trade here for the Lings. Nice lane control. Oracles, they run into a Spore this time. Has a lot of Stalkers, but again, it's only Stalker. Now, going to mutas here is risky. Going to Hydras would have been a very secure way to just win this game, to keep up with the Stalkers. Mutas is just risky. It has potential to harass, that's true, but it won't really help head on. It won't help with the main fights. Rogue is maxed. 10 mutas on the way. Doesn't bait out the stasis. Barely not. Miles try to zone. Zoun claiming 4th base behind us. Now it's taking up. We have +1 on the way. We have charge on the way. Robo as well. Again, very late tech, very late upgrades. Everything is late here for Zoun. And we'll see what the mutas get done. They make their way across the map. Again, still not convinced by this, but at least it will buy time and deal economic damage. Yeah, there's nothing to defend in the main. Forces the recall. It does force the recall. I was going for the fourth. And Roki breaks out. Music pivot back around. Pivot back. Banelings are rolling in. Nice stasis. Yeah, stasis goes off. Banelings ahead for the main army. Going for the Colossus. Nice time for one of the Oracles. Rogue is still just rallying. Still just rallying in. Oof. Yeah, Biles takes Zoun away. Banelings get smashed into the army. The Colossus barely standing. Can he bring down the expansion? He's trying to. Still holding on to the Biles. Yeah, base goes down, takes down the fourth base. Rogue is down, he just cannot maintain himself. He cannot keep up, not like this. And Rogue has done it. Rogue has broken down. Again, winding the soul back, this all just came down to the failed all-in. Zoun went for a big 3-base 8k all-in, but he was so delayed. Imagine a world where he didn't lose the probe. If he didn't lose that worker across the map, if he got a faster proxy, faster warp-ins, faster reinforcements, more aggression, that could have been enough. That could have been enough. It would have been a stronger all-in for sure. But again, it was all just delayed. And now the final push. And the final move out. So we're getting into the Colossus. Mutants are coming from behind. Colossus, they should not escape. And they won't. They won't get away. The heavy losses if it's down. GG gets called, and Rogue, he will claim the series 2-1, and Rogue will be the final player to qualify for the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played. Rogue, he will claim the series again. Zoun with a very aggressive build here, going for the 8-gate all 3-base all-in. And again, Rogue was able to delay. Was able to delay the all-in, shut him down, was able to collapse on the initial pylon, sorry, on the initial probe, attempted to throw in the proxy pylon and was delayed. With that, he was able to counterattack as well. A very nice thing counterattack where he was able to cripple the economy and slow down Zoun's warp-ins. And Zoun with that, he did petered out. GG, well played. With that, congratulations. Rogue will advance on. We have one Zerg player in the semis. GG, well played. It's going to be Rogue alongside Hero, Cure, and Maru. GG, well played. We also have confirmation that it's going to be Rogue versus Hero in the semis. It's going to be Rogue versus Hero and Cure versus Maru. Winners interview.
Well, Rogue, congratulations on your victory. Today was a marathon day. You played 2 series versus Zoun, and your first opponent in the semifinals is going to be Hero. How do you feel about your ZvP? Do you think you can take Hero down?
일단 이병현 선수 진출 축하드리고요. 정말 오늘 되게 긴 시간 그 경기하셨는데 박한솔 선수와의 또 푸저전.
I'll be honest, this question that State is asking is basically Tasis' question. Like Tasis is going to ask him, hey, what are your goals for the tournament, for the playoffs? But State is asking about the playoffs.
솔직히 제가 자신이 많이 없는데.
So I don't know if State realized what he just did, but he just took Tasis' question. Like, what's Tasis? Is he just going to ask the same question again? Rogue is going to be like, I'm going to practice hard for my ZvP for my upcoming match. And then Tasis is going to be like, what are your goals for your series against Hero?
주사위 1, 2 정도 뛸 수 있게 잘해야 될 것 같아요.
Yeah, my overall confidence is actually very low in ZvP. So that being said, Zoun is actually a very good player in the late game. So but I thought that he's very vulnerable in the early game. So I try to expose that vulnerability as much as possible. And about Hero, I mean, he's such a good player. And if he's on his best form, that I don't think I have any chance of beating him. So I'll have to wish that his dice maybe just goes 1 and 2.
You've played incredibly today and through this whole season. Do you think it's possible that you can win this season of GSL?
그럼에도 불구하고.
So Rogue just said, I think I have a really low chance in the semifinals. Like, Hero needs to be in bad form for me to win. And then Tasis is like, so do you think you can win the tournament? So Tasis basically asked the same question in a different way. Okay.
Yeah, I think my overall confidence in ZVT is actually much better than ZvP. So if I can beat Hero and head to the finals, then yeah, I think I have a decent chance.
Thank you for the interview and best of luck in the rest of the tournament.
God damn it.
감사합니다.
뭔가
Again, like that's on State though. Like State, he's gotta recognize, like, he has to avoid questions that are targeting the next round because Tasus is gonna ask that question anyway. Like, doesn't matter. Like it's just not gonna stop Tasus from asking the same question, but yeah. So regardless, with that, GG well played. Congratulations to Rogue. As Rogue, he does claim the series over Zoun. He will advance on, and here we have our semis confirmed. We have Hero versus Rogue and Maru versus Cure in the upcoming semi-finals. Here we go. Oh boy, coming into this, honestly, I look forward to the TVT. If you remember, Cure, he has a winning record over Maru in TVT. He is favored against Maru, I would say. Maru even alluded to that as well in his previous winners interview. So I'm excited to see how Maru comes in prepared for that matchup versus Cure. Otherwise, Cure may be able to make it to the finals. We'll see. We shall see. We'll discuss that during the final day, of course. As again, we have our top 4 players confirmed, and that is going to be on the 7th of June. And if you're out there, if you happen to be in Korea or happen to be traveling to Korea, then do consider getting your tickets and going to the offline events. As you can see here, ticket sales is going to be open on the 1st of June. That's going to be in a couple of days over the weekend, so make sure that you do gain your tickets while you can. I believe last season it was booked out, so you gotta get your tickets while you can, baby. Yeah. Korean fans are there, papi. They are there. Otherwise, if you want to support the GSL, if you want to support them, you can do so via Patreon, patreon.com/GSL, and you'll be able to support the event and look to fund Season 3. Again, we're still a ways away here. We are just under $8,000 raised out of a total $10K for Season 3. Hopefully, we can get there. Otherwise, we'll make sure that Season 2 is a season to remember. True, papi, true. Let's go. Let us go. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. We can see here the schedule for the upcoming week of StarCraft. We have the Maestros of the Game group stage throughout the course of the week. We have GSL Season 2 Finals on the 7th. We have the RSL over the weekend, of course. We're going to be co-streaming that on Saturday and Sunday, and we have tickets open on the 1st of June. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft is on the horizon. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. Gee, it was a long cast today. Long cast, 4.5 hours. I'm going to be getting some rest. When it comes to our schedule, you can see it before you. Bam. Those are the Patreon pledges, of course. But you can see our schedule. We just wrapped up with our Thursday evening broadcast. Tomorrow morning, in around 10 hours' time, we're going to be live with the Code for Giants Cup. That is a Brazilian-only tournament. So just bear that in mind. We're going to be live with Code for Giants Cup. Likewise, over the weekend, we have the RSL finals, the RSL Season 5 finals, and also the GSL rebroadcast on YouTube. So bear that in mind. Plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft on the CranKy Ducklings. We'll see you guys in 10 hours for COVID Giants Cup. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate all of the support, and do consider following us here on Soup. Again, we're going to be live here on Soup when it comes to upcoming tournament days, with all the content, with all the StarCraft. Of course, we are becoming more and more active on Soup as a platform. So you can follow us here if you wish. Otherwise, follow us on the other platforms as well for VOD content. So again, we upload to YouTube on a daily basis. We have all those VODs over on YouTube. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and do support the GSL. Do support. Just like these guys here. True. Bam. The supporters. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you guys in 10 hours for Code for Giants Cup. We'll see you over the weekend for some RSL action. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. GG.
Incoming transmission.